opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date is July 24th, 2020. Everybody, just to catch you up, tonight, now at the, roughly the 30-minute mark, we're going to drop you another name for Scarefest Cybercon. We have another celebrity, signed up, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'm liking the way things are shaping up for that little venture into the virtual. That's a new tagline, our venture into the virtual. Tonight on the show we have Jan Lewis, or her professional name, Janelle Lewis. Hello?
Hello.
She was I don't even know what all jobs she had doing the Fifth Hollar that we've been showing once a month. We'll call her the creator. She's got acting credit in it. And I think she wrote it, probably directed it, and I'm going to be right in front of that one guy dude's head there. There we go. Hey, it worked. James Stokes is on the line. James, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wes. Appreciate you having me on tonight.
Now, James is popping in on us, everybody. He's actually at the airport. He'll have to leave pretty quickly. James is, attorney Elijah Neal in the Fifth Hollar. He played that part, and and one thing that Jan likes to point out every time I talk to her about you is that you had a part on Stranger Things.
I did, yes, sir.
Now the way she described it to me, even though you were a paramedic, ambulance driver. At the
paramedic, yes. I had in the season 3, I had a small part as a paramedic. I got to work directly with Millie Bobby Brown and a couple of the other actors, and it was absolutely great. Mm-hmm.
Now that was in the if I remember correctly, that was in the what they call it, the Battle of the Mall or something.
Sort of, kind of, yeah. It was season 3 finale is what it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the episode title was whatever the mall was called. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Now, but she says that you get to come back for season 4.
That's I guess that depends on everything that's going on around in the world. We don't know what's going to happen with COVID and all that.
Right.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Mm-hmm.
So, assuming the apocalypse kind of cuts off here, and they actually get to film season 4, how is this affecting you as an actor? All of this. It's one thing to not be able to go to McDonald's when I want to, but
yeah,
acting requires travel. There's no getting around it. And you're at the airport now. How is this affecting you?
Well, it has affected quite a bit, especially at the beginning when this thing was brand new to everyone and walking on new territory for everybody, not knowing how to react, how to respond to the, I guess, the disease or the virus, not knowing how it was spread at first and everything like that. Everybody, was in a panic. So, yeah, it definitely has put a damper on travels and on filming. It has changed dramatically the way we do things on sets. with the CDC guidelines that we have to follow now, mask wearing, cleaning everything before and after we touch it. So absolutely, it has definitely put a damper on the movie business all the way around.
Now, this is James. This is where I come from on this. Okay, now I am not afraid to go out into the public. I will go to a store. If I will wear my mask, I will. I don't want to go to Walmart, but I didn't like Walmart before all this went down. But anyway, being part of the Scarefest, the one thing that our biggest fear about bringing celebrities in is the flights. And I, like I said, I will go to a convention tomorrow if I can drive. I never did like being cooped up in that big long tin can in the sky called an airplane. And that was before COVID. So kudos to you for even being willing to get on a plane right now. You're a braver man than I am.
Well, sometimes it just calls for, you have to do it.
I know how that is. Now, I'm looking at your IMDb a little bit here. You hop around quite a little bit. What do you have? What are you working on? Can you tell us what you're working on now?
Well, I'm working on a couple of different things. I can say a little bit. I'm working. Well, one of them's in production now. It's called Inferno, California. I'm working on that right now. It's being shot in Arkansas. I was down there last weekend. I'll have to go back again in September, and then come October, I'll be working with the same production company on a different movie called The Devil Comes Dressed for Church 2. But I have a lot of things in the works. I have some horror films coming up in 2021. I have one called Voorhees, Night of the Beast. I will be playing Jason. I'm looking very forward to that. That is an iconic, I guess, horror killer that I've always wanted to play, and I'm getting the chance to do that now. And so I'm looking really forward to that. I'm also in another horror film that's going to be shot hopefully within the next couple of months called Reunion from Hell. And that's going to be shot in Louisville, Kentucky, and also in, I think, Valley, Alabama.
Now, where are you based? Where do you live?
I am out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. So I don't guess
yes.
Did I say it right? Rayland? The city that for Fifth Hollar. I don't guess that was too much of a culture shock for you, was it?
Oh, no. And actually, that's something, going back up to where, pretty much where Loretta Lynn was raised and born in Butcher Holler, and getting to see that and just getting to see that side of the country up around, West Virginia, the Kentucky, up there. And that was just amazing. Some amazing folks up there. Love working with Jan. I appreciate her giving me the opportunity to work in Fifth Hollar. Got to meet some amazing people, but no, it's not out of that's not out of my neck of the woods by any means. I'm from Western Kentucky originally, and been in Nashville for going on 14 years now. But I'm a Kentucky boy by heart.
Well, I could tell you still knew how to say holler.
Yes, sir.
Now, how did you actually get involved with that particular project?
Fifth Hollar?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have a friend of mine that is, me and him's worked together. He's actually a child actor. His name is Zeb Sloan, and great kid. His mom manager, whatever you want to call her, is great. And we met on the set of The Devil Comes Dressed for Church 2, and she told me about this, and I kind of, I think she told Jan about me, and we kind of connected and talked a little bit, and she offered me a role in it, and I took it, and that's kind of how we got going.
Now I just want to say that the movie you just brought up, I saw that on your IMDb. First question: The Devil Comes Dressed for Church 2. Is the TOO ironic, as in it's a sequel, and they said TOO is, or is that also
that's
the church?
TOO also, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's TOO. If you look at it, it's The Devil Comes Dressed for Church 2, and I play a preacher in it, and I absolutely love the role. And it's a comedy, and I think you'll the trailer is out on Facebook. I've shared it many times, along with a lot of other people. And if you watch the trailer, I think that you'll fairly enjoy it. I had a lot of good feedback on that movie. That was my first real comedy. Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, okay, now looking to the future, if I was making that movie, I would have just called it The Devil Comes Dressed for Church. And then that way, if it was really popular and I got to make a sequel, then I could say The Devil Comes Dressed for Church 2. Now, if you have a sequel, you're screwed.
Well, I don't make those rules. I just go where they call and tell me to go.
I understand that. Now your involvement in the Fifth Hollar.
Yes.
Because I know by watching, I went ahead and cheated and watched the last episode that they had given me. So, and I know that Jan is working on more episodes. I don't know we'll get to her in a minute and find out how far down the road we are. Is your character involved beyond what we've seen so far? We're on episode 5.
I'm going to say I think it is. Okay. I don't know how much I can say as far as Jan goes. I would let Jan speak on that a little bit more, but I think that my character will be coming back. I just don't know in what sense. Well, sort of kind of do, but I'm going to let Jan speak on that more than me.
Well, I'll put it this way. Have you filmed more or has she said, hey, I need you again?
She has, Wes. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. See, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man with simple taste. She said, I'll need you again. That means even if it is to slit your throat.
That's right. That's right.
And who knows, I might just give her an idea. Anyway, everybody, we're at our first commercial break. James, you can hang up during the commercial because I know you're just about ready to hop on your flight. When we come back, everybody, from the commercial and our Australian movie review, we will get right to Janelle Lewis of the Fifth Hollar cast. We'll be right back. Do you feel lost in life? Do you seem to be stuck in emotions that are not yours? Is your home not the sanctuary it should be? Contact Spirit Mechanics, where they take a team approach to your metaphysical and spiritual problems. Spirit Mechanics specializes in aura cleansing, stone attunement, attachment removal, and house cleansings. Spirit Mechanics tailors their approach to your individual spiritual path and needs. Now find them monthly at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market in Lexington. Or on Facebook by searching Spirit Mechanics, that's MECHANIX. Spirit Mechanics, for your spiritual health and well-being.
Hey there, Scarefest fans. Glenn here from fakeshemp.net, and as always, it's an absolute pleasure to be with you on Scarefest TV for another week. And if there's one thing I love, it is bringing you Aussie films, particularly brand new ones. Earlier in the year, I talked about Blood Vessel and The Furies, and well, this week I've got one that is just really hot off the press, and it is creepy. So without further delay, let's take a look, and we'll talk about it a bit at the end. You know what? It is great to have something so brand new to present to you, and they don't get much fresher than Relic. The film was released only a couple of weeks ago, direct to digital, which on one hand is a damn shame because it didn't get to enjoy that theatrical release that it really deserved. But on the other hand, we get to watch it from the comfort of our own homes, and who can complain about that? And you know what? To an extent, home is the perfect place to be watching a chiller just like this. If you're a fan of atmospheric haunted house movies, then Relic is for you. It takes that reliable, age-old formula of ghost possession and totally inverts it. And the result will make your skin crawl. It tells the story of an old lady who disappeared at the beginning of the film, and her daughter and her granddaughter arrive from the city to look after her, and when all hope seems lost, she suddenly returns from out of the blue and unable to explain where she's been. Now, just in case you're wondering, that is not a spoiler because that's the general premise. And as the days go by, it becomes clear that something is not right with her. Odd bruising appears on her body, her mind begins to slip, and her actions become aggressive and violent. This is actually a really sophisticated film, to say the least, and if you saw the other Aussie horror film from a few years ago called The Babadook, then you will perhaps comprehend the quality of film on offer here. The parables and the metaphorical musings of the film will actually become obvious to anyone who's experienced the pain of seeing a loved one become lost to dementia. It's a heart-wrenching and impossible scenario to navigate, and yet some of us know how real that is in the moment. Relic takes on that ordeal and it fashions it into a powerful story about aging and generational obligations. And here's the kicker, while it's obviously an Australian film, its international appeal is huge. Hollywood actresses Emily Mortimer and Bella Heathcote star alongside the film's lead actress Robin Niven, and the film was produced by Jake Gyllenhaal of all people, as well as Joe and Anthony Russo. They're the guys behind Marvel's Captain America 2 and 3 and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. What the hell are they doing producing this? So obviously this is a heavyweight slice of cinema, and horror cinema at that. If you love films like Insidious or The Conjuring, then Relic will absolutely hit the spot for you. And take it from me, the final act is the stuff of nightmares. I'm not kidding. The end of this movie sort of makes you go, ugh. It's pretty rank, but it's fucking awesome. Anyway, get on it if you love those type of films. You know, those haunted house sort of possession-ish kind of films. It's gonna really do it for you. It's creepy as all hell. Anyway, that's about it from me. Once again, thanks for having me, and I'll be here again next week. I'm probably in the chat room right now. In fact, I am in the chat room right now. So say g'day, and don't forget to listen to my podcast, Good Movie Monday, every Monday morning, which is actually Sunday afternoon your time. And don't forget Scarefest Radio Reanimated, because, well, it's cool. Whatever. I'll catch you next time.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. Two things for Mr. Cochran. I want to tell him that I don't even go to a lot of movies. I'm tired of watching movies on my TV. There, I said it. I want to go to the movies. And the other thing is, everybody, did you notice Glenn dropped the F-bomb? We have Rob Mello on the show 1 week, and now everybody, it's anarchy. It's absolute anarchy. Anyway, everybody, we are back with Janelle Lewis and some of the other cast members from the Fifth Hollar. Janelle, welcome to the show, and let's just start out. Let's talk about the Fifth Hollar. First, I want to know, now, this is a 5-part series so far. I don't know how many more you got in the can. I don't know how many more you're planning. First question is, was this your first endeavor into the independent film world?
Yes, it was. First time I've ever done anything like this. I've never written script before, never done any type of movies or anything like that before. My actual job for the last 30 years is an RN.
Now, knowing that, I'm going to ask you, well, I'm going to tell you how most independent filmmakers do it. They make a 10, 15-minute short. Or some of them jump head in and do an hour to 2 hour feature. What made you decide to go this route where it's a serial type product and a full 30 minutes every episode? And that is?
Encouragement from both of these two guys.
The general premise for Fifth Hollar is so fascinating. And there's just so many different ways you could go with it. So to contain it just in one episode or in a movie type format or even a miniseries, I think would be doing it injustice. I think there's just so many different ways you could venture out from this.
I won't argue that. I'm just saying for her first effort, it's an ambitious effort. Okay, right off the bat, I know that one of the big limiters, if you will, to independent filmmaking is budget, money, equipment, all that good stuff. That's why a lot of them start off small to show what they can do, and then hopefully they'll impress people who will say, yes, here, take my money, and go blow it on a bigger short, and then on up the food chain. To do this, how did you finance this?
But working a lot of overtime.
Self-finance.
I was still working full-time while I was doing this. When I started off doing filmmaking on this project. So I did a lot of overtime when I started doing this. So this is all self-financed.
Well, God bless your heart for that. I just know everything that goes into it. The equipment to record it. Now, did you, Raylan, Kentucky, is there someplace down there where you can rent, cameras and all that stuff, or did you just kind of wing it with what was available?
Everything I bought. Nothing's rented. I own all the equipment.
Fair enough. Now I want to get into the location. Okay, first of all, Raylan. I guess that's pretty much where you're from.
Nope. I'm actually from Harrodsburg.
Okay. What the mythology of the story? What, in the process of writing it, what made you decide to write something about the mountain town Raylan?
Raylan is a made-up town, and how it came about was I used to do a ghost tour here in Harrodsburg. And what had happened was it was during a Civil War reenactment here at Fort Harrod, and I had sprained my ankle one time, and so we just basically kind of sat around their campfire, and one of the reenactors had told me about a ghost story that happened down there that they had called Fifth Hollar, hence the name Fifth Hollar. But I had taken that title and had added the top of the news stories that had gone around, that we have going around with the current times of human trafficking. Eastern Kentucky is heavy with a lot of the opiate trafficking that comes up through Kentucky, comes up through the eastern part of Kentucky. A lot of the other things, hot topic news-wise, I took all of that and created the story. And so that's how all of that came about. And then I got together with Chad, and come backwards, and created the story, The Fifth Hollar. And then I intertwined that in with the ghost story of the Soul Taker, which is a Indian story myth that I created.
Everybody, we're going to take our next commercial break. We'll be back with more after this. We're going to go ahead after the commercial break. We're going to drop another celebrity announcement for Scarefest Cybercon.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
And welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about Cybercon just a moment, coming up August 29th, 2020. Cybercon is, of course, our venture into the virtual, at the Scarefest. And we have a celebrity announcement coming up. It is Catherine Corcoran. And I struggled to make sure that I actually said her name reasonably correctly, because I thought her name was Catherine Cochran, because I live in Kentucky, and that's the only name we have like that around here. But it's Catherine Corcoran, and you know her from Terrifier. She is, let's just say, the split personality. She is that's her. The blonde in the absolutely most horrific death scene that I have ever seen on a movie in my life. That's this lovely lady. And she's been in a lot of other stuff. The Nukem High franchise. What was that other one? There was another one. It's on the banner. 100 Acres of Hell. The thing about that, now here's my little angle, everyone. I'm noticing a trend that I like for the guest list for Cybercon. And that is, Scarefest to me always seemed like such we'll call it a sausage festival. Entire lines of male actors, and one or two, it seemed like they were just like token females in the background. The ladies are leading this one. We have 3-1 ladies over dudes announcing our guest for Cybercon. So I'm very impressed with that. Kudos to you, Brandon Griffith, for going that route. We're going to have a Scream Queen extravaganza. There. Mark that one off of my word of the day list. Anyway, back to our discussion of the Fifth Hollar. Now, you real quick, we'll go back to the mythology as far as the blending of what you wrote versus what is in the area. Now, the title of the movie, Fifth Hollar, which I just can't get over it. That it impresses me so much that the movie title embraces that pronunciation. Is there an area in Raylan, if it's not called the Fifth Hollar, but is there an area that the locals kind of point to and say, don't go there? Do you know, have you picked up on any of that? Was that part of the mythology, or is it totally out of view?
Actually, the Fifth Hollar, it's a coal mining area. So a lot of this has to do with the coal mines. And in writing part of this, I refer to the coal mine town down there because that part of Kentucky is coal mine country. And I do refer to some of the hardships that the coal mining towns does face with the lack of jobs and employment, and how some of the people had to go out of their area to find jobs. So Fifth Hollar is actually kind of like, does refer to that, and they do kind of say don't go to that area because it is kind of a haunted area. They actually took us over to that particular site. It said that because it was a caved in mine, and they won't let us film over in that area because it is a dangerous site. So because of cave in, so we don't film over there. So yeah, it is kind of dangerous. So,
now,
yeah.
By and large, and you can explain it if it's a longer story than I think it might be, but okay, watching the series, I'm seeing people that were professional actors. I'm seeing people that I'm not sure they were professional, but they were pretty darn good at it. Actually, Janelle, I got to give you played your part very well. I'll just say it. Your part, and you've not said anything yet to make me think you're a professional actress. But then you had a lot of parts, and you could tell I don't want to say the actors. It didn't come off as being actors. It came across as people, the high school drama club or whatever. How did you cast this movie overall? Because it's actually got a lot of warm bodies in it.
We did auditions. Chad and I, we sat down and did auditions. Tim over here, I hate to look. Tim over here, he does acting as well, and so he plays the vice mayor, and he does a lot of acting. Most of the cast that is with us, they do local acting.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few down there that don't do acting that we brought on because they're charismatic. So there's only a couple of them that really didn't do acting, but they were friends of. So, but for the biggest part, most of them are actors, but they're all locals.
That was kind of the follow up to it.
Yeah.
Is
95% of the cast though live there. I can say that. The only ones that don't live there are here with me and my husband, who's not with us. I mean, all the cast live there. I can honestly say that.
Okay.
Well, outside of Stokes, who doesn't live there, but he's new this season 3. We've got 2 seasons already in the can and are getting ready to show, and then we're, filming season 3 now.
Now you've got me actually believing that if everybody there, or not everybody, but the vast majority of them were locals, you've actually got me believing that's a fairly talented town. It's not that big of a town, is it? Do you know what the population is?
No, I don't, but
we were discussing that earlier. It has to be large enough to support a vice mayor.
I guess I should have Googled that shit and just had my answer ahead of time. Looking at the town through the lens of the camera, it looks very similar to the size of the town that I live in, and plus when you're in the mountains like that, the towns are usually built in a holler. So
Chad said about 5,000.
Painful's about
there you go. That was a number that that would have been my guess. So to have as many people taking part in the casting as you did, I dare say you rounded up everybody in that town that could act. I'll just statistically, it's good. I would not have wanted to add any more parts. What was that, Chad?
Anybody that was really interested in working with us, we were interested in working with them.
Fair enough. Now, in the writing of this, Janelle, did you actually sit down to write a screenplay? Go back to the very beginning of this idea, the original script, original screenplay. Is that how you started, or did it start as a short story? Did you think this might be my novel? What was your thought process on writing it?
Started off doing an outline. Kind of wrote it down as an outline on how I wanted it to flow and what it would look like. And then I just kind of went along that way. I did start writing a book on it, and then I had to put the book aside because the book got too thick. And then I just went back to writing the book got complicated. So I just went back to writing the script. The script was, before the TV show, was so much easier than writing the book.
Okay. Now, this does have a lot of moving parts, as you've already pointed out. There is a paranormal aspect to it. There's a certain amount of legal aspect. I mean, because you got police and everything. When it came to the, you've got a little bit of a background in the paranormal that we'll probably discuss a little bit. How much research did you do into I guess we'll call it the procedures? In other words, you have FBI agents in this show. Did you actually look into the hierarchy of the FBI and what they would do in this case and how they would act? What was the research that went into it?
I did quite a bit of research into the FBI and their procedures. And the guy that plays Deputy Mark Moreland, he's a real live deputy. He's an actual deputy that's in Paintsville. So I used him a lot on a lot of the legal consults of the show.
Now we're tossing over. Now I'll get a couple minutes in with Chad and Tim. Now, Chad, what was the experience like for you working on this type of project in a small town like this?
We understood going into it that this was Jan's first go around. I mean, she had almost like as cold of a start as you could absolutely have. So we were really blessed to find people in the Paintsville area, in the Van Leer area, like Tina Webb, who helped us out a little bit and said, go here, don't go there. These people can help, these people won't help, to kind of help guide and direct us. Now, when it came to script, when Jan was putting a script together, one of the most difficult parts I had with her was letting her release some of that control to the actors. I said, no, certain actors like Rick Roberts, who's been acting for years and years and years, give him a little bit of leeway. Let him take it in the direction it's going to go. Let Tim do his lines. He may throw some lines in there. He may pick up something on the way. So, and that helped flesh out some of the scenes that she had written. That seems to be working for us at the moment.
Let me back up here a little bit. He mentioned Tina Webb. Mm-hmm. Tina Webb is actually the curator and the director of the Van Leer Coal Miners Museum, and she's been a great resource for us for a lot of the coal mine terminology and use of the coal mines down in that area. So she's the one that says, do not go over to this particular coal mine area. You can film over here with these coal mines. She's the one that's given us access to the coal mine museum that we film in. She's given us access to the Loretta Lynn's schoolhouse that we film in, and some of the other hollers that we film at. So she's been a great help for some of the filming locations that we film down there in Van Lear, Kentucky.
Tim, what stood out most to you about the production, location, the entire process in this series?
Oh my. Well, it's kind of a, for me, for my character, it's a fun role for me to play, because most of the time anything that I've done has been just kind of lighthearted or comedy or, that kind of thing. And this one, if it's comedy, it's dark comedy. So getting to play the bad guy occasionally is kind of fun. So the whole thing, I don't look at Van Lear as being a whole lot different than Harrodsburg in a way. So it's just like, well, I'm just on this side of town now, or I'm on that side of town. So.
I remember when I got invited to Texas to do a convention down there, and I said, thank God I'm going someplace my accent will fit in. Everybody, we're going to take our final commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more to Janelle about her association with the Scarefest. We'll be right back.
Coyote Chris Sutton.
Shamanism.
Spiritual advisement.
Paranormal investigations.
Inspirational presentations.
Bringing light to the darkest places for over 20 years. Go to coyotechris.com to learn more.
Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis. Sorry, it looks like I'm doing an ad for Wheat Thins. Let me replace this. I need to start out with a confession. I am so sick and tired of zombies, I could puke. If you follow Bonehead Weekly, James, Chad, and I actually started work on a screenplay for a zombie film a long time ago, wrote the outline of it, never quite finished it. And I think there's two reasons why that is. One is that we're incredibly lazy, and two is that we're all three, I think, sick and tired of zombies. They've played out so much in the last 20 years. And Romero would often say that it wasn't really the movies that were pushing the zombie culture as much as it was the video games. I mean, there's nothing better for most of you than a first-person zombie shooter. I'm done with The Walking Dead. I stopped watching it, couldn't care less. Try to ignore zombie films. So that may be the reason why it took me 4 years to finally watch Train to Busan. It's an excellent film. It's on Netflix, Meredith. It opens up with a guy. There's something going on with the government. They're kind of spraying. There may be some sort of virus out. You don't really know. He's driving. He hits something. He turns around. Looks like he hit a deer. Gets high, having a bad day. Gets in his truck, drives on. We stay with the deer, and the deer gets up and has white eyes. And the movie starts. And we follow this man and his daughter and his mom. He and his wife are in a divorce, and for some odd reason she's living in Busan. His daughter wants to go see him, and she's mad because he works a lot. He's a hedge fund manager. She wants to go see his mom. She wants to take the train to Busan by herself. He finally says he'll take her. He doesn't want her to go. It's her birthday. His present he gets her is something that she already owns. It's how much he's forgotten. They get on the train, and things go to hell from there. Somebody sneaks on the train who may have the virus. And the zombie virus in this picture is handled different in a way we kind of worked on when we worked on our screenplay, which was a comedy. I mean, does it take a while? Because that's the problem with zombie films. One of them is like, how long does it take the virus to infect people? How does it infect people? It's your own bullshit rules of your movies. And when you get really pissed if you're watching a movie and it's like, well, it took 2 days for Dan to turn, and then Zeke got bit 30 seconds ago, and then he's all zombified. Well, these people, you're bit, And I mean, within a half a minute to a minute, you're a zombie, right? It moves quick. And it's interesting because they can't open doors. They're just mindless, crazy, kind of in the way of they handled zombies kind of like insects in World War Z, the movie, not the book, by Max Brooks. If they can't see, they kind of stand there. If they don't see anybody, they don't hear anybody. If it's dark, they don't move. What makes this movie stand out is not that it's on a train. It's not that it was made in South Korea. Is that the director gets everything out of these folks when it comes to performances, directed by Sang Hoon Yoon. And we care about these people. It's almost 2 hours long. And I tell you, almost a tear came to my eye in the last 5 minutes. You got to check it out. If you love zombies, if you love just well-made movies where there's an actual character arc, you see someone start here and then end up over here because that's actual storytelling when you follow someone and three-dimensional characters. This is the movie for you. I'm going to recommend it now to everyone. I know I'm late on this wagon. I blame the kid for a lot of it, but it's probably not. I think a lot of it is I just avoided watching new zombie films. But this is a fantastic film. It's got subtitles, and if you think reading subtitles while you watch a movie is a bad thing, then we're probably not going to be friends. Open your mind. People in different places speak different languages. The performances are spectacular. And I loved Train to Busan. This has been Joe Lewis with Bonehead Weekly. Once again, go see Train to Busan on Netflix.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. Before we move forward, I do need to recognize, because we don't have the information to make the commercial yet, but Mama Ruby's family of metaphysical and paranormal shows has come on board to sponsor our little effort here at Scarefest TV. Go to mamarubies.com, and don't do like me. I always spell Rubies, R-U-B-Y-S. For some reason, I want to spell it wrong when I type it in. But Mama Rubies, one thing they do, they put on the Spirit of Light Festival, and assuming that the COVID restrictions don't stop it, because they've had to shut down a lot of stuff this year already, Mama Rubies has, with Spirit of Light coming up November 7th and 8th. Do go to mamarubies.com, click the shop link, and you will find some of the great vendors, the small businesses and vendors that support the shows. And also, very special thanks. It's been a topic in the chat room. CBD Blue Leaf Naturals and Mama Ruby's supplied me with this shirt. They are now my favorite sponsors. Suck it, Chris Sutton. So there. Yes, this beautiful, beautiful shirt is because of my involvement with the Meta Men. You can find out more about that at mamarubies.com. Okay, back to the Fifth Hollar. Okay, Janelle, now, I did not know this actually until I pulled up your Facebook page. You bailed out of the Scarefest just about the time I got deeply involved. We have another head in the back there. I guess that's Parker. Is that Parker right there? No, that's Chad back there. Yeah. Parker sat down. What you were on the board and everything. What was your position at Scarefest?
I was the coordinator for. Oh, now I slipped my tongue. I did the coordinator for the talent coordinator. Stop. I did the talent coordinator. I brought in groups like Studio G that did some dancing. I brought in the Scapa dance team, the Scapa school. They did dances. I helped troubleshoot any of the other type of issues that come up with sound effects, or like we had a Michael Jackson impersonator there, and they were having all sort of sound trouble, so I had to troubleshoot all of that type of stuff. So I did that for Scarefest.
Now, how did you get involved?
I took the paranormal investigation class with Patty back in 2011. 2010. And then I started with Scarefest then.
Okay.
After I took a class.
So you got involved through your involvement with Patty through a little different avenue than Scarefest. Okay. The reason I ask that, now you're the exception to the rule. Everybody else that I've talked to basically went to Scarefest. Patty saw them standing around and gave them a job. That's how I got my position. That's how, so you, of course, you know, it was still, she saw you at the thing. Okay. I'll put you as the exception to the rule, the exception that proves the rule. That's the old saying. Finally, now on the Fifth Hollar, of course, we're showing episode 5 tonight. How many more do you have in the can?
I've got season 2 is in the can that will start showing at Foothills Communication in about 2 weeks, according to Foothills. And after they get done showing there, then I will release them over to you guys, if you still want them. Then by that time, hopefully, we will finish wrapping up filming season 3. We'll return back down to our filming season 3 the end of August. Hopefully that should wrap us up for the year on filming. And then of course the editing starts. So season 3 should come out sometime summer next year.
Okay. One last question on that. Now, how hard is it going to be? Of course, I don't know how Raylan, I don't know how they are as far as the COVID restrictions, but I know, I'll put it this way. You came out, what we've seen so far was done pre-COVID. How do you vision doing what you've done so far in that frame, under that framework?
Well,
I'm really looking forward to making out with the mannequin.
You know, you're not the first person to say that on the show. Let's go ahead. We're almost at the top of the hour. We have the guy who keeps leaning out of frame, I guess, is Parker Horn, correct?
Yes, this is Parker Horn. Chad's son.
Well, Parker, I keep leaning the wrong way. Now, what was your involvement? What part were you?
I have a lot of parts, though you wouldn't recognize me from them because that was a long time ago. Though I work with getting up the set, with working with cameras and boom mics, anything, a little bit of post-editing, but...
He played in the retro episode that comes out in season 2. He played my father in the retro, plays Frank Jr., actually plays not my father, my brother. My brother is Frank Jr. in the retro episode that comes out in season 2, episode 4. So in season 3, he plays a cop, plays a police officer.
Well, Janelle, to answer what you mentioned before, yes, we would be proud to display season 2 once you've done everything else you're going to do with it, because I understand you were like getting this on local TV shows and that kind of stuff. So get all your other stuff done, then come to us. But yes, we will definitely. For one thing, you ended me with a cliffhanger. Damn it! I watched the episode, and now we have a cliffhanger. All the others, I could have watched it and not even paid attention to the next step. Yeah. No, this one ends on a cliffhanger, so now we actually have to get into the action of it. Everybody, this has been Scarefest Television. We're going to show you now part 5 of Fifth Hollar. Join us next week. We'll be back.
Cold, cold wind blowing here tonight. chill in the air. Honey, something ain't right. I see the writing on the wall, and I hear the bell toll. But Lord, it's so hard letting go. I can close my eyes, hear all I see. Your haunting voice tortures me. Touch these walls, yeah, memories flow. Lord, it's so hard letting go. Lord, it's so hard letting go.
Yeah, we got the call that night. Neighbor called in, said she heard 3 or 4 gunshots. Very grisly scene. We had 3 bodies in it. Girlfriend, or lady, her boyfriend, and ex-husband. Double murder, suicides.
Well, excuse me, gentlemen, but I can understand that situation that happened that night, but can we get back to the murder in hand, Dr. Corbett?
All right, you want the cliff notes of my life? Here goes. Listen, I was born in West Virginia. I worked my butt off, worked my way up to district manager in the coal mines. An explosion happened. I lost part of my eyesight. I lost my wife and my 2-year-old daughter. That's about it in a nutshell. That's all I can tell you. Is that good enough?
Man, I didn't know that. All these years we've worked together, I just didn't know that.
What can I say? I like keeping to myself. Shutting everybody else out is what I do best. That's just how life has taught me to be.
I can't say that I know what you're going through, but I do want you to know that, if you need me, I'm here, okay?
Yes, I do. This is my cross to bear. I'm here to answer phones, shuffle papers, take complaints. I'm not here to make friends.
All right, but if you ever want to...
Talk? No, thank you. Thanks anyways.
Can I at least buy you maybe a cup of coffee and some donuts?
Okay, if you're buying, I'm flying.
Sounds great.
Stop! Hey, stop, please! Stop! Stop!
Freeze! Put a gun on the ground, do it now! Turn and face me! Turn! You're the road town boy. Stay. Put you in the car. Hands behind your back. Hit it. Stop. Stay down. Lay face down. We're gonna cuff you. Stay down.
Hey, hold on.
He killed Annie. He shot Annie.
Hey.
He shot Annie.
Hold still.
He's the one that shot Robert.
Hold on.
He doesn't deserve to be treated nice. I can take care of him right now. You come to Road Town, boy. What's your name, huh?
Come down. Give me that hand. Give me that hand.
Come on, get up, boy. Get up. Stand up.
Get your gun.
Get up. Get up. Get up. Come on, get up, son. Come on. Let's go.
Come on. Get your big butt in there.
Go.
Get in there. Get in there.
Mark, what's going on here? Listen, he shot
I
Annie.
just come out around the corner there and found Alex stomping the guts out of this big in here.
He shot Annie. He also robbed the store. He deserves what he got.
Hold still.
He should have pulled me off of him.
What a way to start the day. Murdered last night, shooting this morning. I need a good strong cup of coffee. You got the weapon?
No, it's outside. I can go get it for you.
That'd be fine.
Hold still.
What's your name, son?
They call me Shorty. And I'm not your son. I'm not telling you enough thing.
Why did you shoot Annie?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't shoot anybody.
You shot the owner of the store you just tried to rob.
Nope. Wasn't me. I don't have any recollection of doing that.
It's fact. You shot the owner of the store, and there are too many witnesses who saw it.
What was you robbing Andy's store for? I'm not saying another word, big boy.
Who do you think you are? Look what you did to me. Look what you did to me.
Hey, somebody better get this crazy lady away when she gets hurt.
What do you think? It's okay. It's okay.
You better shut your mouth, Dumpling.
You threatened her, Mr. Shorty? I didn't see her do anything for you. You, Mark, did you see her?
Only thing I saw was that Annie's wanting to press charges on big boy here.
That's what I heard too. Annie's going to press charges for theft, attempted murder, and threatened to do bodily harm.
Let's not forget resisting arrest, possession of a firearm, and that bag of weed we're going to find on him here shortly.
Annie, you need to get out of here.
Well, all right, Sheriff, I can do that.
Ah! Crazy bitch! Hey! I told you to watch your mouth. Hey, I'll tell you anything you want to know. You just get that crazy lady out of here.
Excuse me, Meg. So I need to get to Annie
Hey,
here.
Shane, you refer to her as Agent Lewis, please.
Gentlemen, let's try and keep this professional, okay?
No problem, Agent Lewis.
What's going on out here?
Oh, nothing, Sheriff. Everything's okay. Shane was just going to go ahead and take Annie to the ER to get her arm checked out.
That's exactly what I heard.
Sheriff, would you mind filling Agent Richardson and I on what happened and how Annie actually got shot?
Sure, let's step in the hall for a minute. Give the guy time to think about what happened.
Well, we can always take Annie back inside.
Thank you. Okay, sir.
Hey, Alex. There's some pretty good fighting moves you have there. I think I'm going to have to sign up for your self-defense class.
You're welcome anytime. Bring somebody with you. The more
Thank
the merrier.
you.
Pastor Stone, I heard what you did. Thank you for being there for Annie when I wasn't. And you too, Alex.
I'll help Annie anytime. That doesn't change things between me and you understand?
Understood. Thanks anyway.
Annie, if you need anything, you give me a call. I'll be right there for you.
Sure will, Pastor Stone, you know. I think I'm just going to close up shop and just head on home for the day.
Yeah, that's all you're doing today. Come on.
So, Dylan, tell us again, why did you come to Raylan instead of someplace closer to your home?
I was just looking for a place to steal some stuff and buy some drugs.
Damn it all. Look at him. He's still stoned out of school.
Could it be that your dealer's here in Raylan?
I was just driving around. I saw the store. I went in to check it out. Didn't look too busy. That's all.
That's all? You did a little more than just check out the store.
Nope, that's all I did. That store was full of junk. There's nothing in there I could use. So I left.
You stole a bag of money and shot the owner?
Oh, that wasn't me. Y'all just trying to frame me for something I didn't do.
We have witnesses that can confirm your involvement in the robbery at his store and shooting Annie.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Vaughn.
We had your car towed to the impound lot. Found some interesting things in it.
Yeah, the FBI agents and I found some very interesting things in there.
We found evidence to link you with the missing girls and the death of Miss Chapman.
How many other girls you taken?
And what are you doing with these girls anyway?
All this came from your car.
No, no, be sick. I didn't murder or take anyone. All I do is steal for drugs.
I don't think we're going to get anything useful out of him until he comes down more.
I think you're right about that. I'll take him all back to his cell, let him sleep a little bit more often.
What is he taking that is still keeping him this way? He seems even more stoned than he did yesterday after the shooting.
Sheriff, does anybody outside your staff have access to him?
No, Agent, and I don't like what you're trying to insinuate.
Sheriff, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just asking questions.
I think it's been a long morning. We're done here for now.
You know, there's something going on here, and I don't like it. He should have been in better shape today than he was yesterday.
Maybe, but was it wise for you to accuse the sheriff and his staff?
May, I've been doing this for a long time, and something tells me there's something more than what's going on.
Are you sure that's it? And it's not because I went with Mark for breakfast this morning without telling you?
May, I don't care what you do with your own time, but we've got a case here, and I have a feeling that this is only just the tip of the iceberg, and I don't know whether Deputy Moreland is involved or not.
All right, I'll agree with you that there's definitely something going on here, but I really don't think that Mark, Deputy Moreland, is involved.
Well, we got Dylan tucked away. So what's the game plan for today?
All right, we gave you 15 minutes. I hope your mail bonding is over with the client here. We proceed with the interrogation of Shorty.
Now wait a minute, don't call him Shorty. His name's Dylan Johnson, and I expect you to address him that way.
Shorty? Excuse me, Mr. Johnson. We know you killed Chapman. What'd you do with the damn knife?
Stop right there. Sheriff, you've already convicted him, and he hadn't even had a trial yet.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, what can you tell us about the cigar boxes that we found in your car that contained hair samples and all kinds of jewelry from the missing girls?
Wait right there. You have no confirmation that any of those materials in that box had anything to do with those missing girls. You don't even know if that's his cigar box.
Okay. If he tells us where the two missing girls are, provides this murder weapon, we'll cut a deal with him.
Oh, come on, Sheriff. You can't cut a deal with anybody. The prosecuting attorney has to cut the deals, and he's not even here.
I have not done anything that you
Shut up. Don't say another word. Let me do all the talking.
Well, why do I get the feeling at this point of the game that we're not going to get anything else out of Mr. Johnson today?
Well, in all fairness, Mr. Johnson's kind of under the weather today. I haven't had much luck talking to him, and maybe y'all have better luck tomorrow when you question him.
All right. Mark, could you take Mr. Johnson back to the cell?
Well, before you do, I need a little bit more alone time with him.
You gotta be kidding me. Shorty, Mr. Johnson here, he hasn't been able to say anything intelligent since he's been in here.
All the same, remove his handcuffs so I can talk to him, get my contract signed.
Oh, no, you don't. The only time those cuffs come off is when you're in the cell with him alone.
Well, I guess I'll see him when he gets in his cell then.
All right, Mark. Take Mr. Johnson back to the cell.
Sure thing, Sheriff. Come on, Mr. Johnson.
Hey, if you're looking for someone that likes to take women, look up David Johns.
Come on, quit stalling.
What did he say?
He said nothing.
I didn't say nothing. I just want to go to sleep.
You're probably right. He didn't say anything at all. My mistake. Well, I didn't expect to see that happening.
I don't think any of us did. And who contacted a lawyer for him anyway?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. He's so stony he barely walk or talk. I don't understand what's keeping him in that condition.
You know, maybe the coroner could do some lab work on him. I don't ever remember somebody being that messed up for that long.
Mark, could you relieve me for about 15 minutes? I need to get a cup of coffee.
Sure. You might get me one too?
I guess I could.
You know, that coffee sounds good. Louis, you would like to go with me down to the cafe and get a cup?
Not right now. I think I'll hang out here with the deputy. There's a few things that I want to discuss with him, if that's okay.
Okay. You know, May, we've got to give the director another update pretty soon. But before we call him, why don't we go over some of the things that we discovered with the case?
Okay, sounds good. Okay, looks like we know we have the two missing girls, and we don't have anything indicating whether they were runaways or if they were kidnapped.
Right.
We have a murdered teacher who was actually going to bring us some information about the two missing girls.
That's right.
There's no weapon or anything indicating what happened to her specifically. There was a witness, and the only thing with that was that she saw someone who had a black hooded robe, no face. Then there's what Miss Chapman said before she died. She mentioned something about age, rich, and gin.
3 words, yeah.
But we don't even know if that has anything to do with the missing girls or the murder. I mean, we have no idea. And also, we've been to the coal mine entrances. They're still sealed up. Nothing there. And then we also have the skull that Dr. Corbett is examining right now. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Yes, and we sent back Carly's iPad, her iPhone, and Jenny's notes back to the lab for analysis.
Right. Now, putting this all together, what do we know?
You know, at this point, we really have nothing.
Right.
But you know, I know that there's something going on.
Do you mind if I ask you a personal question about your last case?
Sure. I was wondering when you were going to get around to that.
Well, before we were assigned together, I was told that you were on the desk position because of your last case.
That was a difficult one, May. That case is still open. And fortunately, it was 3 years of work gone.
I heard that there was an undercover agent that was killed.
Yes, that was a tough one. You see, Agent Barnes and I, we had to tell her husband and her 4-year-old daughter. It was really difficult.
What exactly happened?
Well, it involved young ladies, you know, that were looking for fortune and fame. They were responding to ads for modeling agents, you know, for people to be able to go and take pictures of them. And even referred them to particular photographers.
Well, there should have been no problem taking down those photographers.
You see, that's what we thought too, but it wasn't quite that simple. You see, the photographers would take the pictures, and then remotely someone would tell him which pictures to take and who would be abducted.
What did they do with the ones that passed the criteria?
You see, the young ladies were sold to the highest bidder, and even some of them were shipped overseas.
So how did they discover our agent?
Well, you see, we thought that there was a mole in our organization, but we just didn't have any proof of that. And what they did was they took one of our agents and 5 of the other girls to a pod. And what happened was the others were executed while our agent saw it happen. And then she was executed herself.
I hope that's not what's going on here.
You know, I don't think so this time. The patterns are not the same. You see, these other girls were looking for fame and fortune, and that doesn't seem to follow along here. Now, most of these people, what they do when they're exposed, they just pick up shop and go from one town to the next.
Well, I think that we should just go with your experience on this case. So that means we don't have anything to report to the director tonight.
No, we don't have anything new. So what we'll do is we'll give him a call in the morning at our regular update.
Sounds good.
Hey, Deputy Mark and I, we went back to the scene to look for the weapon. Fortunately, we didn't find anything.
Well, gentlemen, it's my gut feeling that Miss Chapman had some information right here that she was going to share to us about the missing girls, which probably led to her death.
Agent Lewis.
Yeah.
Did you get any other pictures other than what the coroner took at the scene?
Yes, I sure did. I've got pictures of the bag, and I've got pictures of the car, inside and out.
Do you know when we're going to be taking these girls up to New York?
Well, I haven't heard specifically, but I suspect it'll be soon. There's a lot going on in town.
I really like these two. They have a lot of spunk, a lot more than the ones before them.
What they are on the feisty side.
Well, yes, I'm shocked at our leaders' extreme action.
Morning, Principal Gentry.
Morning. Agent Richards, Agent Lewis. I assume it's to interview my staff or some of the students because I don't have anything else to offer you.
No, ma'am. We're here to notify you that Miss Chapman was murdered in the parking lot yesterday.
I'm aware of that. Any suspects yet?
Whoa, how did you hear about Miss Chapman? Her death hasn't even been released to the media yet.
It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody's
Business. Blah, blah, blah. You know, you don't seem too upset that one of your employees just recently got murdered.
I was shocked to hear such horrible news here in Raylan. It happened to someone that we worked with and we loved.
Miss Gentry, your words of compassion almost brought a tear to my eye. Did you not like your employee?
I suppose you would have liked her better. She was well liked by her peers, and the students voted her favorite teacher of the year every year. Excuse me, I have a headache I have to attend to before my morning staff meeting. Oh,
By the way, Principal Gentry, if we find that you are involved in these murders in any way, I will personally be here to put the cuffs on you and to make sure that you're locked away for the rest of your life.
Is that a threat, Agent Lewis?
Threat? Oh no, Principal Gentry. That's a promise.
I get the distinct feeling that the principal gets under your skin.
Matt, you know how some people are just evil, and you can just sense it.
Oh yeah, I've been around quite a few of those.
Well, you just were around another one because this woman in here is evil to the core.
You know, I have to say something, May. I'm really excited because I thought you were nothing but like a Mary Poppins.
Oh, honey, I have a bad side, trust me.
Carly, we need to think of a plan to get out of here.
But how? We're surrounded by bars, concrete floors. There's no windows. It's hopeless.
Nothing is ever hopeless. We just need to put our heads together and think.
I can't think. This can't be happening. I just want to wake up and this all be over.
Well, this is not a nightmare. It's real. We need to get out of here before something bad happens to us.
What do you mean before something bad happens to us? What's going to happen? What are they going to do to us?
I don't know what they're going to do or what they have planned for us, but what I do know is we need to stay calm, put our heads together, and just think.
Okay, I'll try. Jenny, I'm so glad you're here with me. I don't think I can do this with anybody else.
My dad told me that I could calm a storm if I just put my mind to it. He always told me stories about how much I reminded him of my mom.
Do you remember your mom at all?
No, not really. Just things that he would tell me about her. Like, one time, he told me if I look in the mirror, that I'd see her.
So that must mean you favor your mom more than you do your dad. That's a good thing. I've seen your dad.
He said Mom was very independent, intelligent, and very strong in her faith. Her motto always was, if you don't like what you see, then leave.
That sounds like you too.
Maybe a little bit, but she was very sure of herself. And me, I don't even know where I want to go to college.
That's how you and I are alike. My cousins have known what they've been doing with their life and what colleges they're going to since we were kids.
Well, if we ever decide on a college, but the first thing we need to do is get out of here.
You're right. You know, I've noticed you haven't been eating your food whenever they bring it to us.
I've been saving it for when we get out of here. Who knows how far we are away from town?
That's a good idea. I'll start dividing my food with you so we can both keep up our strength.
That's a good idea. Now we need to figure out a way to get out of here.
Looks like another